I love doing my part for charity. Like I've just said, I was down in, did a bit of comedy for BBC Comic Relief. A part of that, I had to actually go down to Luton to do a radio interview for 3 counties, and I took the bus, and on the bus I saw a building outside that said Luton Medical and Sedation Centre, and I thought, that's a bit weird. Then I got off the bus, took a look around, and thought if I lived in Luton, sedation would probably help.
It's alright, actually.
Thank you. But yeah, it's great to be here. It's such a great cause. We've actually got the mayor of Stevenage herself, and it's really great, isn't it? Although I think she's the mayor with that thick gold chain, she could just literally be anyone from Stevenage. Although she hasn't got a Primark bag and a baby stroller, so I think we're safe. Whoa! It's fine. I'm from Stevenage. It's fine. But I was a bit surprised to find out I was performing at the Stevenage Arts and Leisure Centre, because from my experience as a Stevenage person, I thought the closest we got to arts and leisure was spray painting a railway bridge.
Exactly. Luton's alright.
But yeah, it's great to be here. I actually took the train up here. Anyone use the train very often? Sort of a no. Okay, so this is my next very niche observational joke out the window. But there's a sign on the train that it's got a picture of a rope, some rope and a saw, and it says emergency equipment available here. And I'm thinking, what is the emergency? Has a magician forgotten his equipment? That would be funnier if it had better words in it. But no, has anyone here? Obviously, you've been to King's Cross Station, right? So you've seen the ridiculous things they have at King's Cross Station, like the Harry Potter shop. The Harry Potter shop that charges £75 for a jumper and £125 for a piece of plastic that looks like a wand. At those prices, the only thing magical about that shop is how they get people to buy that stuff. But what I find most bizarre about King's Cross Station is they have a Prezzo's Italian restaurant in the station. Who is going to that? That can't be a date location, can it? Any women in the audience, give me a cheer if you'd be happy if your boyfriend, husband took you on a date to an Italian restaurant in a train station. Give me a cheer. Woo! A couple of people, that surprised me, because I thought you'd get there, and you get to the train station, you're all dressed up, and the guy, and the woman goes, oh, do we have to travel to get there? And the guy's like, yeah, up the escalator. And you get there and the woman's like, oh, hi, welcome to Prezzo's. Let me show you to your table right next to the pigeon and the homeless man. Don't worry if you can't finish all your food. I'm sure one of them will be more than happy. But yeah, and then you get to your table. Like, what would the mood be like there? Because you know most Italian restaurants, they play a little bit of music to get a good mood going. What would you hear? Just big issue. Because there's a guy going table to table selling big issues because he had to put his house up for sale to pay off for the Gryffindor scarf that he bought downstairs. So, but no, give me a cheer if you're in a relationship. Woo! Couple of you, I'm actually in a relationship. Yeah, my girlfriend and I been together almost 6 months now. When we got together, it was a bit weird because there's an age gap of about 3.5 years between us. And a lot of my friends made jokes, they made their comments, and I thought, to be honest, for me it works out a little better, because at the end of the month, if I'm ever low on money, I just take her on a date and her parents pay me for babysitting, so it's fine. We just sit down and she goes, oh, this is nice, what's the occasion? Is it rent? Now be quiet and finish your half meal. But no, you have to take girlfriends out on dates. I actually took her to the Sea Life Centre in London. Anyone here been to the Sea Life Centre? So you know how it works, they split it up into sections. There's the like deep ocean section, the Antarctic section, the jungle section, and then they end on their best, which is the Thames River section, which is advertised as everything you'll find in the Thames River. It's basically just tank after tank of empty carrier bags and beer cans. The only fish in there are floating on the top, or in those plastic 6-pack rings you get on beer. It's not quite as good as the others, but it's got good. Thank you for that. So, after that response, I feel I'm doing horribly, and I'm just going to say, thank you very much for listening, sort of laughing. Thank you very much. We'll go on with the rest of the show. Thank you.